I'll probably get assassinated for showing you this, but this is how you make your kicks hard, and if you want them to slap, definitely got to do this then. What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna show you guys, I feel like that's kind of like my intro and shit like that. I'm gonna show you like 10 different ways from beginner to, basically what I do, and some, secret sauce things that I do, and even some secrets that I probably will get assassinated for even showing you guys, but I got you though. So I'm gonna start from beginner stuff and then work my way up to, stuff that you probably didn't even know. I'll also be pulling up beats and stuff like that, so enough with the talking, let's just get right into it. So before I give you the first one, sound selection is the most important thing, because if you start with something that already sounds terrible, you can't make it sound good. You can't, you can't polish a turd, as the saying goes. So just make sure your sounds are good and make sure they're up to date. You don't want to use something from like 2007 when like Soulja Boy was like making shit and then try to use it now. They're not gonna sound good. They're not gonna be applied today. Alright, so to kick things off, the first one is velocity. Now keep in mind, I'm starting from the beginning and I'm walking you guys to the sauce. So if you've only been producing for like maybe, I don't know, like a week or maybe a month or even a year, I'm just walking you guys into it. So velocity. This is what the normal kick sounds like. Now when I turn the velocity up, this is what it sounds like now. Big difference. With velocity, you could do a lot of things. You could add extra bounce to it. So if you do have a pattern that's, say, like this, you can do different things to make it bouncier. I usually like to fix the velocities when it's when the kicks are a little too close together. So that'll be this one, because these two are together, and that'll be this one. It kind of gives that kind of feel into it. Alright, now the second way is the amp knob. Now I know you probably heard this a million times, but every single time I see it from somebody, whether it be on IG or wherever, right? They think they're getting this big sauce, but in all actuality, they're using it wrong. Yeah, I said it, they're using it wrong. Let me give you some game with this. The first knob basically boosts the high end, and then the second knob boosts basically the low end. It's still getting boosted, but the high end isn't really the focus. I'm gonna duplicate the kick, and then I'm gonna mess with the setting, and then you be the judge. Night and day. The first one has a little bit more high end, and the second one has a little bit more low end. So now you guys know, just a little excerpt from, Secret Society. All we ask is trust. So the third way is EQ. Now I'm going to show you guys how I personally EQ. So I'm going to put a kick pattern up, and then I'm just going to do a sweep and destroy. That's probably one of the only things I do. I search for the tone and then I boost it up. Another thing I might do is I might just, cut off the lows and then just boost it like this. It really all depends on what kind of feel I'm trying to give, the kind of beat that I'm working on. So the fourth way to make your kick hit is compression. Now me, I don't mess with the settings too much. FL FREEBIE compressor has a lot of great presets. One of my favorite presets that I can give to you guys is the brick wall one. It just makes everything slap, and then when I couple that with the EQ, it'll give it a tight sound. Next couple ones is when I really get into the sauce. So the fifth one, which is one of my personal favorites, and it's messing with the transients. Now if you don't know what transients are, they're basically that front part of the kick. Every kick has it. One of the things that I like to do is I like to use a transient VST. One of my favorite go-to VSTs I've been using lately is actually free, and it's called Neutron Elements, and it has this like feature in here called the Transient Shaper. It was free for a limited time, and I actually plugged everybody on my IG. If you missed out, you should definitely hit that follow, because I'm always giving away freebies. The attack feature basically shapes the transient, and then the sustain is how long do you want it to last. Now if I bring it all the way down, the kick will be shorter. Now if you missed out on Neutron Elements, don't feel bad. You could use a freeware VST called Transient as well, but there's already a VST that's stock in FL20, and it does the same thing, and it probably does it a little bit better with more features. In fact, I'm gonna put you on game and I'm gonna show you that one as well. I think now is probably a good time for me to pull up a beat in FL20 and show you guys how I used it in there. So that's the beat. That's actually a collab with the homie Mal Glitchy, or I call her Mal, but she's super dope. Definitely go follow her. Now there's a VST called Transient Processor in FL20. Basically same features: attack, release, which, you know, sustain, and then there's this drive feature. I'm gonna solo the kick, and then I'm just gonna tweak the settings. All right, so quick little before and after. So as you can tell, the Transient Processor gave it a lot more punch, a lot more fullness, and a lot more bottom to it. It made the rack kick go from something really regular to something that, you know, can really fill up and really punch through. Definitely experiment, you know what I'm saying? It's a really good plugin, and you could also see what it's doing here when you press this little cable knob here. Fam, what are you doing? My cat always fucking up my videos. Now the next way to make your kick slap is limiters. Now I'm gonna turn off the Transient Processor and pull up a FL limiter on the kick. Now one way I like to do is I like to just increase the gain and then probably bring down the ceiling. This is where the attack, release, and sustain kind of play a part. So I'll just leave the attack down. It kind of has this clipping to it. If I bring the release down, same kind of thing. Now if I bring the sustain down, I could really hear the clipping. Now depending on where I bring the ceiling down, is really just gonna give me more clipping. And the saturation knob, I like using that to give it kind of some character, so that way it's not too buried in the mix. It feels full. A lot of times I probably won't use the limiter on the kick. I'll use it on the master. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this, but you can put a limiter on the master and just kind of clip that way and then raise the volume of the whole track, so that way it sounds a lot harder. So now that you know about hard clipping, I'm gonna show you guys the next one, which is soft clipping. Everybody always asks me what I have on my master, and that's just a soft clipper. I don't think anybody ever messes with the settings or anything like that, but I just throw a soft clipper on there and it just does the job. So I can just turn this super loud and it won't clip in the master. Look. It's not clipping. There's so many other soft clippers, but the only two that I use are the Fruity soft clipper or the T-Rack soft clipper. And I barely even use this. With this one, if you bring it all the way to the left, it's a lot softer. And then if you bring it all the way to the right, it's a lot harsher and you can hear that clipping. Next way to make your kick slap is a Fruity wave shaper, which is a stock VST as well. Just turn it up, you get some soft saturation and soft clipping. Depending on how much you turn it up, you'll get either a harsher tone or even softer tone. I personally never go way past that because it's a little harsher like this. It's a little too much, so I always kind of bring it like in between. I'm real minimal with it. I do know that Hippo uses a wave shaper because I seen it in like an old video, and I think he talked about it on live one time. You know, that's one way to make your kicks slap as well. So there's that one. Now the next two are the real secret sauce. I'll probably get assassinated for showing you this, but you know, this is how you make your kicks hard, and if you want them to slap, definitely have to do this then. And that is the secret knob button. The secret button is called Circular Panning Law, and you just go to Options, Project General Settings, and there's this, you know, little button that says Circular Panning Law. If you turn that off, for some reason it makes everything sound louder. It makes everything hit harder. So I'm gonna do a before and after. So this is before. Notice I don't have to do anything to the kicks. You can only do this in FL 11 and 10. You can't do this in FL 20 or 12. They have that feature, but it doesn't work the same though. Plenty of people use this. People like OZ, people like Boy Wanted, people like Foreign Tech, Cash Money AP. So many people. Shit, myself even. But you know, like I said, secret society. All we ask is trust. That's all I could talk about that one. It's really that simple. That's why a lot of people love FL, because it has a certain kind of distortion, a certain kind of hit. So for the last way to make your kicks slap, I recommend that you throw the wave onto the grid. Let me actually pull up a beat and show you guys what I mean and what it sounds like, because it's super hard. You see what I mean? That shit slaps. That shit's super hard. And as you can see, like I said, soft clipper on it. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this technique is make sure you turn down the volume. Because if I leave it up, it's already too loud. Reason being is because that kick that I selected is already like amplified and it's already loud, so I just turn it down. But any other kick, it hits at 0 and it can't clip. That's the great thing about this technique. It won't clip at all. So those are 10 ways to make your kick slap no matter what. If you use them, I promise they're gonna hit. Don't try to mix all of this stuff together because you'll do more harm than good. If you guys want me to do a video on how to mix your kick in 808 or even how to make harder 808s, or even, you know, that stuff from scratch or whatever, let me know down in the comments what you want to see, because man, I've been making so many videos and stuff and definitely not easy, especially when you don't have a haircut, because I'm looking fucking crazy right now, but I got it done for you guys. So yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see and go pick up the blueprint drum kit because they're already fire sounds. So yeah, enough plugging. That's the end of the video and I'll see you guys next time.